I don't know much about country music, but this song sort of jumped out and caught me by surprise. I think it started on the internet, as songs often do these days, and it just went super viral. Tens of millions of views. I'm going to play the whole song for you, and then I'd like to talk about the song a bit, what I like about it, what's interesting about it, and what the reaction from the official music industry has been. I know that's a bit outside my normal wheelhouse, but I hope you'll bear with me. So here's the song by a man named Oliver Anthony, and the song is called Rich Men North of Richmond. Here, take a listen. It's just a few minutes long.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Wow, hey, his look, his sound, unique, very blue collar, poor. And even working hard and working overtime doesn't seem to help. He says, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Now, what does that mean? That's a bit cryptic. I think it means what you obviously know it means, which is a poor white man from Appalachia. He's in nobody's focus group. There's no beer ads with guys who look like him anymore. The beer ads are all guys who look like Dylan Mulvaney on Bud Light. They don't have people like him anymore. He's a white, cis, heterosexual male. So people like him and maybe people like you. When he says these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control, want to know what you think, want to know what you do. And they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Because it's quite something. If you look at the map, you're probably wondering, what does that mean? Look at the map. Richmond, Virginia, which was the capital of the Confederacy, by the way. Well, north of Richmond is Washington, D.C. So when he's talking about the people north of Richmond wanting to know what you see and what you do, and then he talks about, your dollar doesn't go far and it gets taxed. Well, he's talking about politicians, isn't he? The next part is amazing. He said, I wish politicians would look out for miners, and he obviously means coal miners, M-I-N-E-R-S, and not just minors on an island somewhere. That's got to be a reference to Jeffrey Epstein and his Lola Express, the sex trafficking of minors in his island that so many people, including Bill Gates, just visited again and again. It's true. Politicians, for some reason, hate miners. Net zero. That means get rid of carbon, get rid of coal, get rid of oil, get rid of so many things. But we need it. But why is it okay to say get rid of miners? And would you talk that way about any other industry, any other profession? He's got a phrase. He says, well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. So it's interesting that he doesn't believe in being slovenly or subsidizing people just eating snack food. It's sort of an interesting mix of politics, isn't it? But I think underneath it is sort of despair and frustration. He talks about young men 6 feet under, obviously suicide he means. He's really talking about forgotten people in flyover country. There's not a lot of TV shows about guys who look like this other than to mock them. Maybe Duck Dynasty, but that was sort of, look at that oddity. Rolling Stone used to be a magazine that was really cutting edge and really about the music. It's not about that anymore. It's about Democrat Party talking points. They call this guy a Reaganite. I don't even think this guy was born until after Reagan was left. But maybe there's something to it in that Ronald Reagan talked to working class people who used to vote Democrat but felt pushed out of the Democratic Party. I think that's probably even more true now when the central issues for the Democrats are censorship, global warming, and transgenderism, don't you think? Here, let me read a little bit from Rolling Stone, because it's sort of funny how they're taking on this phenomenon. They're not celebrating him. They're not saying, wow, look at this authentic American sound and listen to his pain. And they're sort of not really mocking his pain, but they're saying it's not legitimate and he's just a Reaganite. Here's what they say. They talk about that, and then they say, in his straight-to-camera introduction video, Anthony, who according to a post on YouTube cites Hank Williams Jr., no stranger to political songs, as his biggest influence, says he sits pretty dead center down the aisle on politics and always have, and that it seems like both sides serve the same master, and that master is not someone of any good to the people of this country. I think there's something there, and it's widespread. I think a lot of working class people, miners in West Virginia, guys who look just like this, voted Republican under Donald Trump because they felt ignored. And if you say you're for the working class these days, if you say you're for cheaper housing prices and maybe for good labor and trade deals that don't reduce wages, are you left-wing or are you right-wing? I'm not quite sure. I mean, I don't know of any trade deal or any war that isn't enthusiastically supported by the Democrats. I think in a lot of ways, the old right-wing, left-wing lines are scrambled. Maybe the Reaganite call does work.